What's happening, YouTube? Owen here from Dark Entertainment, the place to hear tales from Wales and afar. If you're into creepy stories donated to us by people like yourselves, then feel free to like and subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Now, let's get into the video. Outer space, the vast expanse of the unknown. Galaxies and worlds of all different variations, on the edge of vision, in the deep, expansive vacuum. And we, a group of oversized monkeys, sitting on a speeding ball of rock, capable of sustaining a host of life. In a space near infinite, we have been born into a world at a time where we are only just capable of peering into the void. Occasionally, we stop and wonder, is someone watching us in return? This question is a question that makes many of us feel very uncomfortable. As humans, we feel a connection with that which is familiar and fear that which is different. This human condition has been the cause of countless wars throughout our brief time on this planet. Differences in appearance, religion, or location have seen the most horrific atrocities conducted by all different races and creeds over the last 6,000 years that is near impossible to comprehend. The thought of a race of beings that look totally different to us is a very challenging thought. A race with completely different looks, religions, history, morals, and possibly the scariest of them all, views of other life forms, watching us with curiosity, impassiveness, or even hatred can send chills down the spine. We recently looked at the peculiar incident that happened in Penturk, South Wales. If you haven't seen that two-part episode, I'll leave a link in the description, or you can click the link in the top right corner now. It not only asks the question, have we not just been watched but visited as well, but also asks the question, are our governments and military lying to us about alien intelligence entering our atmosphere? We see from time to time stories of people being abducted by little green men, and reports of all sorts of medical experiments conducted on them. To be honest, I don't believe the majority of these reports. Many a bandwagon has been climbed on in the pursuit of fame, and alien abductions are no exception. However, there are one or two who I find a little bit more difficult to dispute. So back to the question of, have extraterrestrials visited our small spinning disc? Spinning ball. Well, several strange events have been encountered over the last 60 years, and today I'll be looking at one of the most intriguing. In 1977, a small school in West Wales, children in Mrs. Morgan's class came running into the classroom after a short recess period. They were highly excitable about something that happened in the playground. When the teacher listened to them, she listened in disbelief as the children told her about a UFO rising and falling in the field next to the school. Next period, the children trooped out into the playground and stood waiting for the strange craft to appear. I tried to speak to one of the children, the only child that was willing to talk about these experiences. Unfortunately, is called David Davis. In Wales, the name Davis is as common as grains of sand. Everyone and their mother is called Davis, and possibly everyone and their mother is called David. However, David did actually give a comprehensive talk about his experiences to Astonishing Legends. I've used a lot of this for reference. Thanks very much, guys. Anyway, back to the story. David, who in his own words was a natural-born skeptic, went into the field for a closer look. As he walked up the field, he suddenly stopped as a large cigar-shaped object hovered over the tree line. It floated for a few seconds before dipping back down beyond view. David described it as being about 40 to 45 foot in length, pearlescent silver in colour, and had a small dome taking up a third of the craft in the centre, with a strange glowing red light emanating from the dome itself. He stated that he didn't feel any sort of fear from the sight, but had the urge to run away. On later reflection, he claimed that he felt strange that he didn't feel any fear when perhaps he should have. He described the day that he saw this. In typical Welsh fashion, the day was pretty rough. It was drizzly when he first saw it. My girlfriend and I travelled to Broadhaven to see the school. Just like David Davis, the weather was still shit. When he got home, he spoke to his mother, who could always tell when he was lying, about his experience. And she realised that he had actually seen something very strange. She contacted a friend of hers, who was a member of a UFO group, which no longer exists, called Bufon. David and the researcher travelled back to the field. Unfortunately, the weather had deteriorated further, and they couldn't see any sight of the craft. This sight was witnessed by multiple children and several staff. After seeing the excitement from the children, Headmaster Ralph Llewellyn split all the children up and placed them in exam conditions. In utter silence, he prompted all the children to draw the strange craft. Quietly, the children went to work drawing what they saw. After they finished, Ralph, who was a very old-fashioned head teacher and didn't believe in UFOs in any way and had been treating the whole thing as a bit of a joke, suddenly realized that the children had all drawn the same thing, with only slight variations between them. Whether he believed in extraterrestrial beings or not, he couldn't deny that the children had seen something out of the ordinary. When he asked around, he found out that several of his staff had seen the craft as well. Over the following weeks, the craft made another appearance. This time it was seen by several dinner ladies and teachers. The residents of Broadhaven live in the presence of an RAF military base. They were used to seeing aircraft of all sorts flying overhead with deafening roars. When asked if the craft made a sound, they all stated that it was silent and hovering. As you can imagine, the story blew up in the mainstream news. Reporters from all over the world flocked to the small town of Broadhaven to interview the children and staff. But this was only the start of the tale. Stranger things were about to happen. The reason I've decided to do this episode is because not only have I witnessed a strange phenomenon that I wasn't able to explain, but a member of my girlfriend's family, who was a truck driver around the time of the Broadhaven sighting, saw the same object. I shall start by regaling my tale. Several years ago, I went on a camping trip with my then girlfriend. Being from Cardiff, I barely see the stars due to light pollution, so being in St. David's for a camping trip, I couldn't stop staring at the sky. I was blown away by all the clarity of the sky and the wonder of being able to see the Milky Way with my own eyes. One night, we were walking down a country road from the city to the beach at White Sands where we were staying. I had my snout pointing up in the air when suddenly I saw a shooting star. Like a toddler hearing Baby Shark for the first time, I excitedly shouted, "I saw a shooting star!" and pointed to where I saw it. As I pointed, the object reappeared at this incredible speed and stopped right in front of us, and then shot off at a completely different direction. In disbelief, we stared at each other before running to the safety of our tent. Now, before I see anything in the comments, I know how stupid that last sentence is. What the fuck is a tent gonna protect me from? But whatever, that's what happened, and I'm fairly aware that I am a tit. I've been one all my life, why quit now? The second story is not mine, and told to me even before I decided to do this channel. A relative of my now girlfriend is a retired truck driver. He used to deliver goods in a lorry from all the farms in Carmarthen all over South Wales, and many times would work night shifts when doing so. This occurred around the same period in the 1970s on a dual carriageway near Carmarthen. One night, when he had to make a delivery to Pembrokeshire, he watched in wonder as a silver cigar-shaped object travelled across the sky, directly in front of the truck. It lit up the entire sky, as if it was on fire. Anyway, that's all for this episode. Next time, we look at the strange occurrences that happened to the Coombs family and the staff at the Havenford Hotel. That's all from us here at Dark Entertainment. We hope you've enjoyed the episode. We're on Facebook, Twitter. Please feel free to like, subscribe, drop us a comment. And if you would like more of our content, click the links on screen now. Ta-ta!